Okay, Amit, so before we start, can you please give a brief intro about yourself?
Yes. Hello everyone. I am Amit. Currently, I am a student and pursuing engineering from DITC Niteout. And apart from my studies and all, I have been also working on my own project or my own idea, which is named HelpMate. It's an idea. It's a field where we provide assignment assistance to students from for engineering as well as apart from engineering department as well. So this is the field that we are working on, and yes, that's for me.
So how did the idea of HelpMate came to your mind?
So actually, it all starts with a problem, and when you are into a problem, you try to find out a solution for that as well. So when we were in the second year of our college, we got a lot of assignment as though Corona came, and there were a lot of assignment from teachers because there were no classes, only assignments and classes and all. So what we figured out that we are getting a lot of assignment, and some of the assignment were such pretty difficult, means which can't be solved. Means as though in a lockdown, we were all in a home in a singular. We were not having any group or we were with friends, so it was very difficult for us to solve that assignment on single-handed or with or solving on our own, just like that. So it was very difficult for us. So that we find out that it was very difficult for us to solve assignment by your own. So we need a assistance or we need a help. And every time there are lots of questions, lot of doubt that everyone, every teacher, every doubt we can't ask with teacher and all, and you can't get help from every friend regarding every doubt or every assistance. So there only we got an idea that we should provide a platform or we should create a platform where you can get assignment related assistance. Means if you're having a problem in solving assignment or any particular topic related assignment, then we can provide your platform where you can get your help. Means it's a platform where you post your assignment and a team would reach to you by your assignment that yes, it can be done or we can help you or not. And we charge a particular amount on that. And if it is okay with the person or who want assistance, then yes, we work for them and we charge the money and such. It's going on like this.
So how much money do you charge?
So it's a several criteria. It's not particularly fixed for assignment. We are operating with every field of engineering, right? So there are multiple departments in engineering and there are multiple subjects in engineering. So, and it also depend upon the type of questions or the numbers of questions that you send us. So it's totally being introspected by the team, which we have formulated here, which go through the assignment and the team decides the charges and prices and all. And particularly everything is being mentioned in the mail that we forward to the client. And yes, if it is okay to the client, which the price that we are charging, then yes, we work for them. So it totally depend upon the subjects, number of questions. Apart from number of questions, the time that we would be investing over there to solve the assignment, because multiple times we have questions which are having of different level of difficulty, right? So 10 questions can be solved in half an hour as well as 10 questions can be solved in more than 1 hour or 2 hours also. So it's totally depend upon the number of questions as well as the difficulty level of question, which is being introspected by the team that we have formulated. Means we have a team of 15 to 20 people and we have more people on that. So it's a team which solve the assignment, which provides the assignment related assistance to the client that we work with.
So how do you guys manage your college studies and startup together?
So yes, it's a good question for us because it's quite difficult for us managing our classes, our assignments, and when you're in college, there are multiple activities apart from the studies and college assignment as well. So you can relate to what I'm saying, right? So yes, it's pretty difficult for us to maintain the time, but yes, it's a part of our routine. We do not have to work regularly, in a regular way or in a rigorous way for the work that you're doing. Just like it's depend upon, we get around 10 to 12 project or 5 to 6 project per day. So we have a particular time. We are having a team members in my college only. Apart from in my college, there are several team members who are working remotely from their home or apart from their reach. So yes, what we do, we have a particular timing. We particularly sit on the timing and we see how many projects we are getting on, how to cope up with this project. Every person have their own tasks and the tasks is distributed in a very good way to everyone, so that there is no work pressure for each one of the team member. And just like let me tell you, just like we got an assignment from an engineering subject which is engineering mathematics. So we have a department for that. The person who is in charge of engineering mathematics would handle that part. you take the assignment, you reach the team, and you talk with the team, right? And yes, so yes, this is a particular way that we are following. We have a team related to every aspects or every different type of subject, and whenever there is a particular question on that part, he or she is working on that. And apart from that subject part, we also have a particular meetings and all regarding uh, several doubts or how to increase our project or how to manage multiple working times and all. Because everyone in the team is a student as well. Apart from student, we have 5 to 6 teachers also working with our.
So you have already hired some interns.
Yes, yes. I would not say actually they them as an intern because they are working as a team member right now with us. But yes, initially they joined as a intern and now they are working as a team with us.
They are now working as full time.
No, it's not full time. It's not a full time. It's a part time. Because we have to dedicate only few hours or few minutes of your day because we don't get a lot of project. We get around 5 to 6 projects per day from in a website. So it's not like a full time. We work all part time.
So you can say they are working as freelancers, right?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
So when you hire those freelancers or when you hire those interns, what are some qualities do you see in them? How do you hire them?
Yes, so it's a good question because we need to know that the person that we are hiring is good enough to solve assignment or good enough to perform a task that which we are expecting with him or her. So if we are taking a person as a teammate who is going to solve assignment or provide assignment related assistance to our team, then we check we have a particular text designed for him or her. Basically, we have a test. Apart from that, we also have an interview session which is being scheduled with the. We have a links with teachers of multiple colleges. So whenever we hire an intern related to particular subjects that he or she would be assisting for us, so we have a particular test for him. We have a particular test for him. So what he does, we have a multiple line of tests. Apart from test, we also have an interview scheduled with him or her so that we can test that how much knowledge or how much he or she is capable of solving assignments or to help our team in terms of the field which he or she is opting. So yes, once it is done and the team, our teachers, apart from teacher, we have experts as well. They verify them that yes, they are capable of being, solving the questions or help, providing the assistance. Then you hire them particularly. So there are multiple lines of interview as well as tests that we have planned in a particular.
So right now, how are you planning to expand the business, HelpMate?
So currently, yes, it's we are planning to expand our business. Currently, we have planned a particular 2 to 3 niche domain where we can expand our reach. Apart from that, we're also focusing on improving our quality or the quality of services that we are providing right now. So in terms of expanding our services, just like currently we're operating with Jharkhand, currently we're operating in Jharkhand as well as West Bengal. So we have multiple friends or connections over multiple colleges all over India. So what we are doing, we are having a multiple brand ambassador of particular college that he or she would be telling about a website or services in or 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 his or her college. And yes, we have a website. So in this way, we are planning to expand. We are planning to expand in every colleges of India. But right now, it's limited with Jharkhand and West Bengal. We are trying to increase in UP as well as in the Northeast region because there are multiple colleges which have been associated with a domain right now. And yes, we are in connection with them as well as the teachers or faculty over there, such kind of assistant related help that we provide. And yes, we are planning it in a particular way, just like state by state, we can say, just like we're operating in Jharkhand and West Bengal right now. We are planning in Northeast, apart from Northeast, to working in UP as well. So yes, in this phase, we're trying to expand our services in multiple states.
Okay, Ashkrit, do you have any question? Ashkrit Mishra? Any question you can directly ask or write in the chat box. Yes, Ashkrit, do you have any question?
No, not any question.
So, Amit, so when you hire those team members, how do you motivate them to work for you? I mean, how do you manage them? Because many may not work at a particular time. Some may say that I don't like to work now. So how do you motivate them to keep on working?
Yes, motivation is an important factor when you want to interns or to teammate to work for your project or your idea, because it's a time when they need motivation, because we don't have much project, or means we don't have a lot of work. So there are projects that we get on, and yes, we don't, and in some part we don't need to motivate much, because the people that we are having, they are particularly interested in the field of or the subject that which they are working on. Means someone is interested in mathematics, engineering mathematics, because he or she is interested in engineering mathematics. He loves to solve question of engineering mathematics. So we don't need to motivate him or her much, because it's a domain which he or she loves particularly, and he or she loves to try to solve, loves to solve the questions of that particular field. So it's a kind of work, because it's a kind of work that interns are doing. They are doing on their own. So we can't. It's not about much motivating them. It's like they are solving their own question, and it's helping them to their own studies only. It's like that part. And yes, in some part we need to motivate team, because we have regular session, we have regular meetings with all our teammates. So we motivate in them such that we should increase our deadline in which we are providing the solution. Just like if you're providing solution in 3 days, then you're motivating such a way that we can try to work more, so that we can faster deadline. We can provide it by 1 or 2 days. Apart from that, we are also working on the quality of assignment that we're providing. So yes, that leads some motivation, and we are doing that once in a week, twice in a week, whenever we get a time to do.
So right now you are managing both your college and your startup. So instead of managing both of them, why don't you give full time to your startup? Because in that case, you can give 100% effort to the startup. But if you manage your college and startup together, then you can't give 100% effort to any one of them. So what's your opinion about this?
Yes, it's a good opinion, but I don't think so. It's possible for everyone, because when you want to work, yes, it's very important to work for your idea, particularly because when you're at college, you get a lot of time invested in other parts apart from academics as well. Yes, we can particularly work on that field, but leaving studies is not a good option for me, because when you are working for a project, you should be full confident that yes, in a future year, you should be able to generate a good amount of revenue, or a good amount of income from the idea that you're working on. Just like my field is assignment assistant, so I should be more confident on that. But yes, if I left my studies also, then it's not a big problem for me. I can earn my daily earn my food from there, or some kind of that. But right now, as I'm in third of year my electrical engineering, so it's like 1 year left, and I want to complete my degree. And because yes, completing studies, because when you're in college, you not only learn about your particular field, you learn multiple things. Just like I'm working in my team, I am managing my team, so that part I learned from my team on my college only, because in my college I'm associated with multiple societies. Over there I'm working as a secretary of my NSS. I am in NSS club of my college, so I'm working over there as a secretary. So over from there, I learned to manage my team, working on a different events, and that part helped me to manage my team over my own project which I'm working on. So yes, I mean say leaving studies can be a good option if you're for your project, but I think in college you don't only learn about studies and all. You learn multiple things which can help you in different aspects of your life, apart from getting a job or being settled in life, I think. Yes.
So according to you, why do you think that 90% of startups fail in India?
Right from my view, I think so. The 90% startups fail in India, because when you work for your startup or work for your own idea, there are multiple factors which are required to sustain your idea in a market. First of all, I would like to mention the first thing that come in mind is dropping your idea. Sometimes you feel like that it's not gonna work. You should drop it. So there is the first part where most of the ideas fail, because when you think about it, you are losing it. So we have to think that, or we should think in a such a way that yes, it's not like that. You should work continuously on that, right? And if you work continuously on that, you would improve in a day by day. Just like I myself, I get found on my part. So we were in the second year of engineering, and right now I'm in the verge of third year. It's ending right now. So every time in the phase that we are working on, every time we have improved a lot. Means through multiple feedback to our clients, or the multiple opportunities that we get, and there's multiple Means multiple factors help us to improve our project that we are working on right now. And yes, so that's the first part, that you have to be regular on the project or idea that you're working on. If you are dropping the idea, or if you feel like that it's not working on, and this is the first part where you drop off. Means this is the first part where you lose out. Being continuous and being and improving yourself or your idea toward what you are working on can make you go ahead and ahead. That's what I feel from my experience right now. Because what I was actually working on my project, I feel that was my experience. And I that was the first, the reason that you, the question that you asked, that why 90% startup fail. I think not being continuous or not believing on your idea, that's the two main factor that I think so. Because when you don't believe on your idea, you can't make others to believe on what you are thinking of. These are the 2 points that I feel like that most of the startup fail, because when you don't believe on your own idea, and when you are not working regularly or rigorously on your own idea. That's all.
So do you believe that Shark Tank India, the reality show Shark Tank India, does it have the potentiality to create more entrepreneurs in our country?
So Shark Tank India, yes, I found a little, it's act as a little catalyst for us. It's not because before Shark Tank India, you can count that most of the people, or many of the people were not knowing actually about the field, that yes, we can generate a revenue in terms of working on a product or services. And because it came on the platform where every home or every people in India can watch such kind of ideas, that such kind of ideas being funded or they are growing on such a level. So yes, it's in somehow we can say that yes, it's helped people to motivate on that part. And apart from motivating, yes, it was a good motivating factor, because when you are in a remote area or when you are in a village, when you are not getting more knowledge about startup ecosystem, how they are working on their own, and how to generate funding and all, what's all this process is going on, how this process is going on. So starting India showed a path to them, I think so. In a such a way that they are having also their own product or any services that they are offering in a global. Yes, they can grow it as in a global level or in a national level to generate a more and more revenue. So, yes, I think so. Shark Tank India motivated people towards the particularly entrepreneurship or working on your own idea kind of thing.
Okay, Ashprit, do you have any question right now? Ashprit, Mister?
No.
No question. Okay. Okay, Amit. So there is a thing that is going around in the YouTube, that in many YouTube motivational videos, people say that in order to run a startup, you need to work 16 to 18 hours per day. So according to your experience, is it true? Because I am asking because you already run a startup. So is it true that when you started the business, you had to work 16 hours per day?
So yes, I think so. Not 16 to 18 hours per day, but I think so. It's totally even of the idea or the amount of work that you are having, right? So just like if you can compare with my field, I means my field would have much larger domain, or it's a niche domain that we are targeting, and it's a niche domain that we are working on, particularly students of engineering right now. So yes, I particularly me, we don't have to work a lot more and more, but yes, working more and more, dedicating more and more hours to your work project or your idea sufficiently provides you grow more and more on that field. Because when you put multiple hours of effort, it's give you back. You can see the result. Yes, from my point of view, I can relate it to in terms of my experience as well. When I was in home, particularly in lockdown, there were a few online classes, and uh, there was not much activities of my own. So I was getting a lot of time to work on my own project. So at that time, the time the time that I dedicated, like it was like 4 to 5 hours per day. So in that time, that team that I made, the effort that I put, and the project that we solved, it was much more and more, because the efforts that we all were putting on, it's helped us to grow more and more, and it helps to make us better. But right now, as we are in college, we are getting less time in comparison to what we are getting earlier. So yes, we are working right now as well, but we are not growing or expanding our team or our efficiency in such a way that we were doing in the time of lockdown. Yes. So yes, definitely, if you're dedicating more and more hours to your project or your idea, it would help. Absolutely, it would help you to grow more and more.
So what's your purpose for becoming an entrepreneur? I mean, why do you want to become an entrepreneur in first place? What was the motivation?
The motivation was it's all as I mentioned before, all started with a problem and solution. So when I found out that there was a problem in
No, no,
us as
I'm
a
not
like,
talking about HelpMate. HelpMate, you found a problem and now you're solving it. But I am saying that why do you want to become an entrepreneur in first place? It's not about HelpMate. Why do you want to become a businessman in future? That's why you started HelpMate, right? Because you had the desire to become an entrepreneur. That's why you are solving the problem. So why? What's the motivation?
the motivation behind this question is simple that when you are an entrepreneur or when you are working for your own idea, is whatever you are thinking and whatever you want to, you can totally directly implement on the idea or on the project that you're working on. But whenever you are working for someone or any department or any authority, you can't do that because you have to follow orders and all. I mentioning that yes, you learn a lot of things there as well, but I sometimes I feel that you can't work over there independently for your own idea. And also there's one more factor that I believe that whenever you work for your own idea or your own work, it's like I feel like that's that my 100% effort are being utilized in what I'm working on. But whenever I work for someone else, I don't think so, but I don't think so that my 100% efficiency or the effort that I'm putting on my work is being utilized by the third party or the different organization which I'm working. Yes, that I feel on the part of entrepreneurship.
Okay. So what do you think are the qualities of a successful entrepreneur, or what are some qualities should an entrepreneur have?
There are a lot of qualities, but yes, basically the major quality that I think so is being able to work on the problem part. Means you should be quick or you should be very practical in finding solution to the problem, because when you work on a project you get a multiple problem every time. So you should be ready for that, because in you are getting very less time to find a solution, or you are not having a solution, that you should try multiple solution to that problem. So yes, if you are not being stuck on that same question or the same problem, you should be creative with your ideas, that how to implement new ideas so that it can help you growing on your own, means growing your team or increasing your efficiency. Apart from being creative on your ideas, being regular, it's like working regular for your project and working regular on your ideas. And yes, and one more factor that I believe that is being able, when you are working as an entrepreneur, then you should be able to manage multiple teams or multiple people, uh, which means who are working for you. Means if you are able, means if you are a good manager, or if you are managing the team in a good way, because you don't have to do all the part of the work that your team is doing. You want your teammates to do that work properly, and that's need a good communication as well. I mentioned that you should have a quality where you can make it work for you, and yes, they don't feel like it is a pressurized work. They feel like that yes, they are motivating, they are doing it for their own, and it's going to help them. Yes, I think so. These are the three qualities that I mentioned: being regular and being creative in your ideas to the problem. And yes, that's it.
Okay, Aspit, any question? Any question do you have, or else I would end the session? Okay, no question. Okay, so the last question is that what would be your piece of advice for any aspiring entrepreneur?
My piece of advice for any aspiring entrepreneur.
Yes, what would be your piece of what
Yes,
would you like to advise them?
basically, what entrepreneur does, he or she fills a gap between the problem and the solution. So, whatever they are working on, they should first find out that yes, is the idea that it's being useful, means yes, is it solving any solution, or is it providing any solution to the problem that society or people are facing. If yes, then yes, it should be the motivating factor for him or her to work on, and to work on such a way that he or she can provide solution to that part. I think so. If it's not something like that, then I don't think so. It's any. motivating factor, or it's any reason behind to work for your idea on that part as well. And it's there should be only motivating factor that anyone on the bus can have. That yes, I am providing solution to the problem. Yes, people are suffering from this, and I said I can provide the solution to the problem, and I can generate a revenue on terms of providing solution to the problem that people are facing. These are the two main factors that I generate solving the problem and generating revenue in terms of providing solution to the clients. That's all.
Okay, one more question, that whenever a person, right now in India, whenever a person starts this business or start a startup, then his or her parents always demotivate them, most of the Indian parents, because most of the parents are middle class, service class people. So they of course demotivate them that ye kya kar rahe ho, aise nahi hoga, ek job karo, acha sa job dhundo. So how do you think that people can cope up with that kind of demotivation, or how do you think they can motivate themselves when their parents and relatives are demotivating them?
Yeah, definitely. Even though our teammates or myself even sometimes feel like kind of what you mentioned right now. So yes, so how to deal with such kind of thing, that you should try to communicate with the parents. You should show them that the reason behind that you're working for something, it's not a worthless. Yes, it's helping someone, and yes, it can help me in future as well for sustaining my own life. And once you make them understand regarding what you're working for and what you're doing, they actually understand. It's not something like that they wouldn't understand your problem, your situation, or what you're working for. You just need to make them understand in a particular way that yes, I am working for a good cause, or I'm not working for this. It would help me in some way. Not right. If not right now, means if I'm not able to generate a revenue right now from my own idea, but yes, in future I can, and I would. This you have to make them believe that yes, I would be able to generate revenue, or I am working for a good cause. And if you are able to make them understand on your point of view, couldn't be any problem anymore. That's what worked for me. It's worked for me. That's I'm telling.
Okay, Ashpreet Mishra has a question, that is, how do you deal with lack of interest during entrepreneurial journey?
So yes, it's happens with me sometimes, because when you are working on when you are having a regular work, sometimes you feel like that it's a rigorous work and it's a regular stream work, and sometimes it's feel like that yes, it's not a motivating. Even though I need some motivating factor to work for my own project. So in such cases, what we do, we have a regular team meeting, we have a team sessions where we talk with different kind of team members of our own groups, or we also have mentors, particularly elements who are more elder than us, means the teachers that they are working for in our team. So we have a regular meeting session with them, and what we do, we have also motivating session, means we try to motivate each other. It's like a team that you're working on. So whenever some of us feel like we are not, we don't feel like that work, or some we are not getting the drive that we should work on, then whenever we feel like that it's happening to us or our teammate, then we cheer up him or her, or we try to motivate him or her in a way that we help. So if I find out that one of my teammates is not working or he's not having interest, then we try to cheer him up regarding what we are doing. And in a similar way, they help me too. And apart from that, we also have mentoring session. We have mentors. So they also motivate us much more, and they try to help us in finding solution to multiple problems that are facing. Yes, that's is going on in a way.
Okay, Ashpreet, any more question do you have? You can write in the chat box or ask directly. No question. Okay, Amit, so thank you so much for joining. You did a great job today. It was a great session with you.
Thanks
And
for talking.
yes, yes. Good night and best of luck for your exam.
Thanks.